Welcome to the Ask Chris Real Estate Podcast with Chris Phillips from Keller Williams. A successful 20-year veteran in the Middle Tennessee real estate market with over 100 5-star reviews, Chris is known for his knowledge and integrity. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just curious, his insight will guide you along the way.
Yeah. Welcome to Ask Chris. I'm Chris Phillips with the Phillips Group, and on this channel we talk about buying, selling, and investing and everything happening in the Nashville real estate market. So today we're going to talk about what does $2,500 a month payment actually get you here in the Nashville area. And I have David Menier with Primis Mortgage, and he's here to help me break that down. And David, happy to have you back on the show.
Glad to be back on, Chris. I feel like it's my second home at this point.
And you know what Kelly said this morning as we were getting ready and prepping? She said, you're going to have to start calling this show the Ask Chris and David Show.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I don't mind it.
Well, we love having you because it really adds a lot to us. And, you know, people really worry about, you know, the payment in today's market, especially with the interest rates we have. So kind of set the guidelines of what we're looking for before we start diving into these homes.
Yeah, so we got really good stuff to talk to you guys about, just kind of setting the parameters so you guys can kind of know what we're looking at when we're talking numbers, right? So we're looking at, say, conventional 30-year fixed mortgage. We are estimating $150 a month for homeowners insurance. Property taxes will be different for all the different houses, obviously. And so there's not going to be any, mortgage insurance on this because these are going to be 20% down scenarios for conventional. No HOAs on this as well. So
and we're staying roughly around $2,500. We're kind of fudging on some of those.
Staying around $2,500 for the most part. Some might be a little under, some might be a little bit over, but around $2,500 a month.
And the parameter we kind of set on that, guys, is I went back 3 months in sales and I tried to find houses that didn't need work, that were move-in ready, and looked like something that someone could just move into and live.
Sure.
And that was kind of the parameter I was looking for. And obviously, we wanted to keep the sales price down so that it could be around $2,500.
Yep.
So the first one we got is in the Franklin area. So we're looking at 913 Idlewood Court in Franklin, Tennessee. And this is in the Fieldstone Farm subdivision.
Yeah, it's a great subdivision. Like, I don't even live in Franklin, and I know it's a great subdivision there.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most desirable subdivisions in Franklin, and the reason it is because it's so centrally located. It's got all the stuff, the amenities, the sidewalks, all the things that everybody's looking for.
Yeah, sure.
Real convenient to the grocery stores and to the interstate and getting to Nashville. So
on
this home, the sold price was $455,000, which was great.
$455,000 in Franklin. I feel like that's not pretty common.
That's incredible. And on one of our next shows that we're going to do, we're going to be talking about Williamson County. And the average house in Williamson County is $900,000.
Oh my gosh!
So the fact that we're getting this for $455,000 is crazy.
Wow! Yeah, that's an incredible deal.
Now with that, it's a 1,251 square foot home. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This closed in February of 2026, and that's the things we know about it. So what's our payment?
Yep. So looking at what your payment would be on this type of home right here, we're going to be at around $2,551 a month. Wow. So just barely over that $2,500 mark.
Right. So you can be in downtown Franklin for $2,551. That's taxes, insurance.
Taxes, insurance. Yep.
That's great. That's a great price. So now moving on to the next city, which is Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Sure. Yeah.
And this home is 107 Ruby Kate Way, lot 108, and it's a new construction home. And this house sold for $387,000.
Okay.
And the square footage on it was 1,441, so it's a little bit bigger than the Franklin home. And it has a 2-car garage, which the Franklin house had a 1-car garage.
Wow.
So you can see how just moving over one county, we're getting a little bit more bang for our buck.
You're getting a bigger home and you're getting more garage space as well. And it's a cheaper price too, right?
Yeah. Yes. And it's a 3-2 and it closed January 29th of this year.
Yeah.
So 2026.
Okay.
And what is our payment on that one, David?
Yep. So payment on that one, right? $387,640 purchase price. So less than that Franklin one. So payment's going to be lower. Basically going to be right around $2,236 a month.
Oh man. So we're way under $2,500. So
way under 25.
This person will be dancing to the closing table and will be singing your praises.
Yeah.
The fact that we were able to get under $2,500 and keep it there.
Especially if they were looking in Franklin and they saw those house prices in Franklin, and found that Murfreesboro was a little bit more affordable.
Yes, it's more affordable, and the thing about this is in West Murfreesboro, so it's closer to I-24, which means you're probably 30 to 45 minutes to downtown Nashville.
Nothing.
And then you've got several grocery stores and shopping that are close by. For everybody to get to. It's in that little desirable Cason Lane area.
So it's a good place to live.
Yeah, makes a good one. So now we're going to move over to Woodbine. And this is in Nashville, and it's not really the South Nashville, but it's in the loop, the 440 loop. It's a very hip, upcoming neighborhood, and everybody likes there because it's affordable, and I can be to I-65 and I-24, whichever way I need to go, and it's really convenient to downtown. Like literally in like 5 to 7 minutes, I can be almost in downtown if I do it rightly at the right time of day. So this sales price was $425.
There's $425 houses in Nashville.
There is.
I thought Nashville was crazy high prices now, but
yeah. Well, I will tell you this, David. I'm closing one next week, $300,000 cash.
Wow.
Now this one needed a lot of work, the $300,000 one.
Okay.
So we needed a new roof, we needed a new hardy. But however, this one that we're looking at here, this 100 Sadler Court in Nashville, Tennessee, doesn't need anything.
Move-in ready.
It's move-in ready.
Okay.
And it's got a little land with it too. So you're going to have a backyard. You don't get a garage, you get a carport. It's a little smaller footprint, so it's 1,012 square feet. And $425. So what's our payment there?
$425 purchase price. So for this one, still under $2,500 a month. We're looking at $2,449 a month.
So we're staying under the $2,500 mark in Nashville.
In Nashville, yeah.
In Nashville. The average sales price in Nashville right now is right around $700,000.
Wow. Just a little bit less than Franklin and Williamson County over there, I guess.
I can keep you in downtown in the Woodbine area, so you can be to Green Hills in 10 to 15 minutes. You can be downtown in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you beat that?
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. I have a lot of friends who love the Woodbine area, and if I was going to live in Nashville, that's probably where I would live.
Yeah.
I like the Woodbine area.
I'm not too familiar. Are there like any good restaurants or like any other places that you need to visit there?
Think 12 South.
Okay.
And the Belmont area, and then go to the east of it.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's going to be on the other side of the freeway of 65, between 65. So if you're looking at the hub, it's right there at the bottom part of the hub.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
All right, so the next one we're going to East Nashville, and now we're going to be at 603 North 5th Street in Nashville. Now this one has been totally gutted and renovated. It has a lot of good bells and whistles. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We're right at 1,005 square feet, so it's a little bit smaller, but you're in the desirable East Nashville area. So, and this one obviously sold for a little bit higher because everybody wants to be in that area. So it can even be closer to downtown. And it sold for $475. And it closed in April 3rd, so literally this month.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Okay.
So tell us where our payment will be on that one.
Yep. So for our East Nashville house, we're going to be looking at $2,634. So a little bit over that $2,500 mark, but it's because obviously this purchase price is a little bit more than the other ones we were looking at.
And I couldn't find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a carport or a garage to have a comparable. When I started doing that, it got us out of that 2,500 range.
Sure.
And I was doing my best to try to keep us under that.
Yeah.
So we were joking a little bit about that before, like real estate agents and buyers, start having this edging up on prices. Like, I can get just a little bit more, right?
Chris, I hear that all the time. So I'll talk to somebody and they'll tell me, hey, I can't have my payment go over X amount of dollars, right? In this scenario, can have my payment go over $2,500 a month. Well, I'll run the numbers. Hey, this is purchase price we need to be at, and then I'll get that call a week later. Hey, we went and looked at this house that we really love. I'm like, it's about $30,000-$40,000 more than what you said I should be looking at. I'm like, okay, are you okay with your payment being $150 more? So most of the time people are once they kind of see what the houses look like in their price range. But it's a good thing because sometimes you think this is your price range, but as soon as you start seeing houses, you don't actually know what's out there until you start looking.
Until you start putting it, the rubber to the road and know what you're really looking at.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to do this episode, because I felt like if we used real life scenarios, homes that actually closed, we know what the sales price was.
Yeah.
And then we obviously did our homework on the numbers, that the people out there, that our listeners, could get an idea of Nashville's expensive, but it's still not as bad as we thought.
It's expensive, but it's still available, and it can be affordable in some situations.
Yeah, and you're going to have to work for it. You know, we're going to have to get out there. We're going to have to be first on the scene. We're going to have to be pre-approved, and let's talk a little bit about that. You know, before I go put them in the car, and we're looking at these homes, the good ones, and this one sold in 52 days in East Nashville. You know, the other one sold in 60 days. Now that's till closing, so it could have went under contract in probably 25, 30 days, and it'd take another 20 days to close. The one in Murfreesboro, less than 30 days. And I'm sure this Fieldstone Farms one, it actually stayed on the market a little longer, roughly around 100 days, which surprises me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I guess maybe because it had a one-car garage, and, you know, it probably took a little longer to sell, even though it was updated.
Sure, yeah.
So let's talk about the pre-approval process before we're going to put somebody in the car.
Yeah, so before you get in the car and start looking at houses, we need to have a conversation to figure out what you qualify for, figure out what payment works for you.
Which is $2,500.
Yep, so if we're looking at $2,500, right, a month for your payment that you're comfortable with, right? I'll talk to people all the time, and, you know, I can qualify them for, you know, $3,000, $3,500 a month, right? But if I say your payment's going to be $3,500 a month, most people's jaws hit the floor. And then it's like that's not something they're comfortable with. So maybe we dial it back, right? Come to that $2,500 number. So then once you're comfortable with what your payment's going to be, then we know kind of what the purchase price that we need to be around. Then we can let Chris know, hey, this is around what we need to be looking at, and then you guys can go find the house you like.
So then let's talk about choosing Franklin, Murfreesboro, or Nashville. We have taxes, guys, and it's different in each county.
Yeah.
So there could be a scenario where you're in Murfreesboro and it's not inside the city limits, which lowers our tax payment, which means we can buy more house.
Right, exactly.
And then we go to Davison County where the taxes are higher, which means your payment's going to be ate up by some taxes, which means you're going to buy less house.
Yep, yeah.
So those are the trade-offs. So for me or you to say your $2,500 payment, it's really hard for us to do until we have an actual house.
Yeah.
And the first thing you always ask me is like, okay, what's the taxes, Chris?
Yeah, I do. So one thing I love doing with my people is, you know, go out and look at houses, and then whenever you find a house that you really genuinely like, let me know, and then I can pull up that address, figure out what the taxes look like on it, so then I can figure out exactly what your payment's going to be, right? Rates fluctuate, you know, daily, right? Depending on what house you're getting, property taxes change, purchase prices are always going to change. And so depending on what house you like, your payment's going to change. So if there's a house that you like, I can run custom payments on that specific house to see if it's something that you like and are good with.
Yeah, and our focus is obviously to have a target that we're looking for and then narrow that down as we go.
Yep.
Because your tastes are going to change along with your pocketbook and what you can spend.
100%.
So, all right, guys. So y'all come and give us a call. I encourage you to give David a call and get pre-approved. If you're coming to Nashville and you're looking to buy a house, David will get you pre-approved, and then he will get you in touch with me, and then we'll go shopping. We'll go look for some houses, drive around and talk about the pros and cons of every area and what you're looking for. And we appreciate you tuning in to Ask Chris.
Yep. All right. See you guys.
Thanks for watching Ask Chris. If this was helpful, be sure to like and subscribe and share. I'll see you next time.
For answers to all your real estate questions, ask Chris at the Phillips Group, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.